Come one, come all, ghosts and ghouls alike, to a place of horrors where perfection has abandoned us and the mistakes has taken over. Welcome to the place the perfect diamond painter resides. Hello, welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Sorry, I'm going to be moving you for a minute, trying to get the right angle. I was going to have my daughter set all this up like she usually does, but I forgot, and she's in the shower, so I'm left to do it all on my own. I'm going to do a little Wip N Chat. I know my Wip N Chats don't really do good. I guess a lot of people don't like Wip N Chats, or maybe I'm just boring, which I am. Kind of boring. I don't do much. Sit around the house. Only go out when I absolutely have to. I'm going to be doing Wip N Chat on these little, I don't know, they're like keychains, supposed to be keychains. They're very thin and flimsy though. So I'm going to do them for my little tree up here that I have, that I put my keychains on. I don't know who started it, but a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, well, a few. One of them I can know right offhand that does it is Linda, with Bella and Linda, Her Life and Mine. She talked about doing one. I don't know if she ever set it up or not. I might have missed it if she has talked about it. I've been kind of absent watching people in the past few days because it's been very busy. I don't know why October is always busy for me. Every year, October hits and it's just busy. Usually October's not a good month. But we'll see. It's over now, so it's been busy. Let's see, why. But I had a doctor's appointment today. I was supposed to get my injection on my knee because I have really, really bad knees. They go out all the time. I'll be walking and my knee will just slip out, and that's because of my EDS. My Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It makes I just cannot even walk half the time. My knees go out. But I was supposed to have an injection. It's called an RFA, because to try to help with some of the knee pain, because it gets so bad sometimes I can't sleep. I can't hardly walk. Like right now, my knees are so bad that my left knee, every step I take, it tries to slip out, and it's in excruciating pain. And I couldn't get it because I was going to use my husband's care credit card because they said they accepted it. But then when I went in, they wouldn't let me use it because my husband wasn't with me. I said, he's at work. I didn't know he had to be with me. And they said that care credit has changed their policy, that the policy holder has to be with you when you use it. I used it not that long ago at the vet's office, and he wasn't with me. We used it when our little old man had to go get his teeth pulled. So, but yeah, they wouldn't let me. So now I'm on a waiting game. If I can't get him to get off work, because it's kind of hard for him to get off work when he has to in the wintertime, because he only works so many hours. Well, he works the 5 days a week, and he works his 40 hours, but in the summertime he's off on Mondays, so it's easier for him to take me to doctors and stuff. But my son said that he'll start saving with his check, and then he'll pay for it. So I probably just have to wait a couple of months. Hopefully my knees don't get too bad. I hate it when my knees hurt like this because I can't sleep, I can't do anything. It's just painful. And they got better for a while. They've been really good because I had, they did 2 injections. They do 2 before they go in and do the 3rd one. And they did the 2, and now I'm supposed to go get the 3rd one, but that's what I'm having trouble getting, is the 3rd one, because my insurance won't pay for it. And it's all together with the sedation and everything, it'd be $480. It's kind of expensive. So I didn't get that done. I dropped a drill on my kitty. I have my little diamond painting buddy down here with me. But yep. And then we have my grandson. Apparently we have to take him trick-or-treating. My husband's got to walk around with him. I'll probably just drive. So he missed school today to come down here. And I guess he's missing school tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Friday, he should be in school. But anyway, I wanted to do a quick Wip N Chat and talk and get to know some of my new subscribers. I got some new ones. I'm at 315 now. And that's just awesome. Now, I also wanted to tell, it's not really the setting for spooky stories or anything, but I have to have light to diamond paint, or else I'd turn off the lights and get it a little bit creepier. I wanted to talk about stuff that I don't know if a lot of people would believe. Things that can't be explained. Let's put it that way. I don't remember this myself because I was little. I was really young. I think I was a baby. My grandma used to tell me about it. There was this house that we lived in because I was there. And they called it was like between my town and this town called Muskogee. And it's like in between there. There's a little, I don't think there's any houses there now, but our house was there. And every time my grandma would mop the kitchen floor, because she didn't notice it when we first moved in, but then the first time she mopped the kitchen floor, it looked, as soon as the floor got wet, it looked like there was blood on the floor. So she wiped it up and mopped again, and it still looked like blood until the floor dried, and then it disappeared. Like there wasn't no blood there. But when the floor was wet, there was blood. And she said she could not explain it for the life of her. And then in the same house, or it might have been a different house. you know, she used to tell me all these stories, and then some of them I remember because I was older. But then they kind of, where the houses was, it kind of all, like, I mix up where the houses are. But there was another time where my uncle, he had a bedroom. And his bedroom, my grandma woke up one morning and he wasn't in his room. He was in the living room. And she's like, Ricky, why are you in here? He's like, no reason. Wouldn't talk about it. And he wouldn't talk about it for years. And then finally he talked about it. He said that he was in his room and he was laying down and he felt something like jump up on the end of his bed. And he thought it was his dog. So he reached down there to pet the dog. And he felt around, there wasn't no dog. So he's like, oh, well, I guess I, imagined it, or maybe it wasn't no dog. So then he felt it again. It's like something jumped on his bed again. Well, he felt down there again, nothing. And he getting a little freaked out by then. And then it happened the third time. But it was only this time it was harder, like really a big thump on the bed. And he jumps up, flips the light on, wasn't nothing in there. And he goes, oh, you can have the room, and went to walk out of the room. And he said as he went to walk out of the room after he said you can have the room, then something, he don't know what it was, started laughing. Like just hysterical laughing. There wasn't nobody up because we were all in bed. And he went, he had grabbed his blanket and a pillow and he went and was sleeping on the couch. And he never slept in that room again. So then they turned the room into a bathroom. I don't remember how they quite did it because there's more work into it than you would think. But they turned it into a bathroom. There was a stool, bathtub, the works. I don't know. Now I don't remember if they did it themselves or if they had somebody do it, but it got turned into a bathroom. And nobody slept in the room again. Well, after they turned it into a bathroom, I went in there and to use the bathroom, I locked the door. And then when I got ready to come out, I unlocked the door and I was trying to get out, but the door would not unlock. It was like it was still locked when it wasn't because I'd unlocked it. And I freaked out because I could not get the door unlocked. I started kind of like jerking on the door and really, really trying to get it unlocked. And then I can't find this one. But, yeah, as I was trying to get it unlocked, it wouldn't unlock. And I'm freaking out. And, I was in there for a while. Like a good 30 minutes. And then finally, they heard me and let me out. The door wasn't locked, but it would not let me out. So, hang on one second. Sorry about that. I had to find my thing. I guess I marked it as a 1 instead of an exclamation mark. And I couldn't find it nowhere. Anyway, so after it got turned in the bathroom, and then I got locked in, then we found out, forgot who told us, maybe the person that owned it, because we was renting it, told us that there was a lady that had lived in the house. She's an older lady that had passed away in that room that had been her bedroom. And yeah, she was in there for a while before they found her, because she was elderly and, you know, nobody checked on her. And then she passed away and was in the room. And he didn't tell us about it until, you know, strange and eerily things that couldn't be explained. That's the same house that we were also living there. And I was sitting there, and, you know, a lot of people are probably going to think that this is made up and I seeing things or stuff, but I was sitting there and I was looking outside, and there wasn't nobody outside. Shouldn't have been anybody outside, but I seen a guy in a blue shirt walk by, and then following him was a guy in a white shirt, and they went by, and then I told my grandpa and them, and my uncle went out there, and there wasn't nobody out there. And then they went by again. But this time the guy in the blue shirt was behind the guy in the white shirt. And the guy in the white shirt had blood on his shirt. So, but there wasn't nobody there. We could not find them, because, you know, we looked, there wasn't nobody out there. So I have no idea who they were, where they went, what it was. Then there was, let's see, when, I don't know if I don't remember if I told you guys about the low water bridge. I think I did. I'm not sure. I'll just tell it again. When we were teenagers. Yeah, I do remember I told you guys about the low water bridge, and a woman had lost her babies over the bridge because the water was high, and you wasn't supposed to go across the bridge when the water is high, because it really wasn't a bridge. It's just a little roadway over the top of water. And when the water when it rained, the water went up, and then, you know, you'd go across there, and she went across there, and the water swept away her car. And they found her, but never found her babies. And she looks for her babies, and we seen her. We pulled up, and the lights was shining across, and I seen this lady standing across there, like floating across the water. And we took off as fast as we could, but when we backed up, the car got stuck on something, but there wasn't nothing really it could get stuck on. So I don't know what it got stuck on, but it took a few times that my brother ribbing it to get it to go. So, and then another story, unexplainable. When I was 9, I think, about 9, 10, 8, 9, somewhere around there. I was at my aunt and uncle's house. They were blind, they couldn't see. And me and my little cousin was sitting there. It was like storming and stuff, and like raining. It wasn't bad storms, but we were sitting there behind my aunt and uncle. They were on the couch and we were sitting behind them because, you know, little kids. Thundering kind of scared us. And then all of a sudden, me and my cousin at the same time, because I was looking like out into the kitchen, because you could see like the kitchen from the doorway. They had a big like double door way, and as you went through, it would be like the back door. And we sat in there, and I seen this woman go by, cross the doorway with, and I could see exactly what she was wearing, how her hair was and everything. Her hair was in curls on the top, and the back of it was like straight down. And she had on a white like nightgown, really long to the floor, and then she had on a robe with it that was like buttoned at like across her breast area, and then it was opened and like flowing like out and away from the rest of it. And I was like, I looked at my cousin. We kind of looked at each other about the same time. And he said, "Did you see what I seen?" I said, "That depends. Did you see what I seen?" And we kind of asked each other and started talking about what we seen. And my aunt and uncle was like, What did you see?" And I was telling my aunt what the person looked like. And she said, "Susie, you just described my sister, what she was buried in." I never even met her sister. This was my aunt by marriage. So I didn't know her sister. Never met her. Never heard her talk about what she was buried in or that she had even died. I didn't know. And I described exactly what she had been buried in. So, and how her hair was and everything. Don't ask me to explain it, because I couldn't explain it if I tried. So, it was kind of creepy. But, you know, there's just things that happen in the world that you just can't explain. That even no matter how hard you try, there's no explanation for some things. Because there is no explanation that I could think of how I can see my aunt's sister. And yeah, my nickname all growing up was Susie. Susie Q. My grandpa used to call me Susie Q, or Boozy. I don't know why Boozy. I never understood why he called me Boozy. Yeah. Nobody calls me Susie Q anymore. I'm a grown-up. My grandpa would probably still call me Susie Q if he was alive. But he's gone. Yeah, they raised me. I lived with them from the time I was like back and forth from their house to my mom's house when I was little until I was like 3. And then I came to live with them like full time. Yep. I miss them. Me and my mom wasn't all that close when I was younger. We didn't get closer until until I was adult. Because I don't remember. She came around. I knew she was my mom. But, you know, my grandma and grandpa they were the ones that was always there. But then when my mom, you know, after I grew up and stuff, we got a little closer. And then when she got really, really sick, I got a call saying that she was sick. She was in the hospital. First, I got a message from somebody I really didn't even know. It's my daughter's friend's girlfriend. She messaged me and she said, "Hey, Nikki told me to message you and tell you that that her grandma is in the hospital and she's not gonna make it." I didn't know this person from anywhere. I hadn't gotten a call from anybody. And I was like, "Who? Which grandma?" And she goes, "Oh, I think it's your mom." I was like, "Okay." And so then I called my aunt and she said, "I haven't heard anything." She goes, "I'll call around." So she called, and then I tried to call some people, and then finally got a hold of somebody, and my uncle told me that, yeah, my mom had been taken by life flight to the hospital. That she'd fallen in the shower, and he didn't know what was wrong with her. So I got dressed real fast, and I went up there, and I think it's me and my son went up there. And I walked into the room, and I walked back out to look to make, because I didn't recognize her. She didn't look like my mom. She looked like skinnier, and she didn't look like my mom. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to pause for a minute. Well, then my mom, you know, she thought that I was going to leave her there at the hospital. She said, "Oh, I know you need to get home to the kids." And at that time I had my grandbaby too, but I didn't want to leave her. So I took my son back home because I had him with me. And then I went back up there. I think I grabbed a charger and went back up there. And then when I found out that she wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just a fall, I had my, I called my daughter and told her to get some stuff ready for me, and my aunt was going to come by and get it. And so she put together a bag for me with some clothes and my pain medicine and my morning, all my medicine actually, I should say, and brought up, then my aunt went by and got it. And then I ended up, I thought it'd just be a few days, but then it turned into a week, and then 2 weeks, and then I was up there for 3 weeks, and I was going to stay up there however long I needed to be up there, because I felt like I needed to be there for my mom. And then I had her, she was setting up, she wanted to set up because she was tired, because a lot of the time they had her on a, what is that called, where you, the machine that like breathes for you and stuff. Oh yeah, ventilator. That's what it's called. I don't know why I lost what it was called. They had her on a vent. She couldn't talk. She couldn't do nothing. She didn't like it. So when they finally took her off of the vent, she was sitting there and she was talking to me, and we'd watch Steve Harvey, the Family Feud, and we sitting there and the music started for Steve Harvey, and she goes, "Susie, there's our man." So we'd sit there and we'd watch Steve Harvey and talk about the contestants and what the answers were. And then she was setting up one day because she wanted to set up on side the bed, and I was helping her set up, and she looked at me and she said, "I don't think I'm going to make it." And I said, "Oh, don't say that." I said, "You're going to make it. You're going to come home with me," because I had it planned out after she got out. She's going to come home with me, and I was going to take care of her. And because I said I wasn't going to ask my husband, because, you know, I took care of his dad for years because somebody needed to take care of him. I took care of him until he got put back in a nursing home, and then he passed away. So I said if I could do it for him, he should let me do it for my mom. But then, because they said, oh well, they told us that she had lung cancer, and they said that, like with chemo and radiation and all that, that she could get better. So it went from a couple of months or years to a couple of months, then to she didn't make it past the 3 weeks. She made it like almost a month. Yep. She died of lung cancer. And she died on my uncle's birthday. My uncle's birthday was October 9th. And that's the day my mom passed away, was October 9th. And then we had her funeral. We didn't really have money for like a big funeral, so we ended up having to just have her cremated, and then we put her with my grandparents. We put her like there with them. And then yeah, I have a necklace with some of her ashes in it, because I had one of my brothers here, and he's a brother, he's my older brother, but he also lived with my grandparents. He called them mom and dad. I still called them grandma and grandpa. And he had like learning disabilities and stuff, and he thought grandma and grandpa was his mom and dad. And I knew they wasn't. And then he asked me one time, he said, if grandma and grandpa is my mom and dad, and we're brother and sister, why are they not your mom and dad? And I said, because they're my grandma and grandpa. I said, your mom, you have the same mom as I do. Our mom is Glinda. And, you know, then I got in trouble for telling him the truth. But after that, he knew it, but he never called her mom. Until, like, later, he did. And then he was at the funeral, and he wanted, like, some of the ashes. So, I opened the box and took out some of the ashes for me and him. So, I could make stuff, like necklace and stuff. He took some with him when he left. Then oh my goodness, this plastic is like getting stuck to me. Plastic's getting stuck and wouldn't come off my finger. But, yeah, after at the funeral, I told my older brother, you know, my grouchy older brother that thought he had to run everything. I told him that I took some of the ashes, and he goes, what are you opening it for? You're not supposed to open it. And I was like, she's my mom too, so I said, she was my mom too. And me and Donald wanted some of the ashes, so I opened it. And Sheila told him, his wife, to calm down, that it didn't hurt anything. So, yeah, he thought he had to run everything. I dropped a drill, but I don't know where it went. I wonder if it's lost in my cat's floof. But yeah, I don't know if I was in camera or not. I don't think I was. There we go. But, yeah. Then my brother's birthday would be on December 7th. Yeah, December 7th. And this will be our first Christmas, our first, his birthday and everything without him. He died April. So, yeah. And he's with my with my mom and my grandparents. Yeah, this year has been kind of a rough year. I lost my uncle. He passed away. And then my brother. And then my other uncle, he passed away, and where he lived at, I guess nobody checked on him and didn't realize they hadn't heard from him for 3 days. And finally they called somebody that he always talked to or something that had a key to his place, and they went over there, and yeah, he was gone. So, been kind of a rough year. And then one of my aunts, she moved, and as soon as she moved, she was doing stuff that we told her not to, but she's very impatient, and she likes to get stuff done when she wants to get it done. She don't like waiting for people. She's always been like that. So she climbed up in a chair and was doing something. I don't even know what she was doing. And then she went to get something, and she had stepped up in the chair and forgot that she needed something, and went to step back down to get what she forgot to get, and she fell off the chair, across the kitchen, broke her wrist and arm and her tailbone. So, yeah. Then she had to wait for people because she couldn't do anything. And she was in a cast for like 6 to 8 weeks. So, oh yeah, and getting back to like unexplainable things. My daughter, when she was, how old were you? How old were you? With the key?
With the key?
Mm-hmm. Your key that you lost.
Oh. I don't know. Early teens.
She was like early teens. And this is just one of those things that you can't explain no matter how hard you try to explain it. She had put some stuff in a little lockbox that we had got her. And she had the key to it. And she put the key in a jewelry box where she'd know where it was. Didn't touch it after that. Then when she went to find the key, opened the jewelry box, the key was gone. It wasn't where she put it. And she looked all around her room. She looked on her bed, under her bed. She looked. Couldn't find it. Well then, 3 days. She went to walk out of her room, and she looked to the side where there was this little table thing that she had sitting on the side. And on top of it, where she had looked before, there was no way it was there. It was just there with a quarter. And she said there was no way that that was sitting there before. And I told her, I said, well, the universe or something wanted you to have it back. It's just weird how, there's so many unexplainable things. Things will happen or you lose something, can't find it, and then it's there. And it's right where you've looked for it 1,000 times. It's like one time, I don't remember how long ago it was, I lost my wedding ring because I hadn't been wearing it because my finger swelled up when I was pregnant and I couldn't wear it. So I put it in this little vase on top of my icebox, and then it disappeared. It wasn't in the vase, and I had looked everywhere and everywhere for it. Well, then I found it, just laying there, and I don't know where it came from, how it got out of the vase and to where it was. But then my husband, his came up missing. I think somebody got away with that one, like stole it, because it was gone. We've still never found it. Because he never wore his wedding ring, because he doesn't like rings. And with his job, he thought he would hurt his finger, or, lose the ring, or so he never wore it. I was working at a canning factory one time, and the janitor that worked there, and this is kind of a gruesome story, so warning, the janitor there, something had messed up with one of the machines. You wasn't supposed to wear jewelry there. They told you, it was in the book and everything, no jewelry allowed. And he was wearing his wedding ring, and he went to climb up the ladder to check out the machine, because we had these really tall machines, because it's like a canning factory called Allen's Canning Factory in Arkansas. And he went to climb up it, and he slipped going up the ladder. And as he slipped, he fell. And he reached out to catch himself, and something, I don't know what, on the ladder caught his finger, or his ring, I should say. And as he was falling, it took his ring and it pulled it, and his finger kind of, all the skin like ripped off of this finger, of his ring finger. And it was not a good sight. They had to call the ambulance to come and pick him up. So, and then the boss or manager of the company said, "See, that's why you're not supposed to wear jewelry." And I was like, it's kind of an insensitive time to be telling us this is why you don't wear it. But, ouch. Yeah, I was 17 when I was working there. I was working there the first time. I didn't know at the time that it was like EDS, because I didn't know I had EDS until I was like much older. But I was working there, and I was just standing in line in the like factory line doing my little canning. You had to look through stuff as it went by you to make sure there wasn't anything in there that, not supposed to get canned. They had different lines. The back line was the line that when it first came out of the truck, so you got the nastiest stuff that you had to get out. And then they had another line, and then there was a line of where it went through one wash and then came through your line, and that's where I was. And I was standing there just like going through stuff, and then all of a sudden my hip just started killing me. I didn't know what it was, what happened. Well, come to find out, my hip had went like out of socket. It just totally went out. And I wasn't even doing anything but standing there, barely moving. Didn't know at the time it was probably because of EDS. And I was like, how do you pull a muscle just basically standing? And the doctor's like, oh, you can pull your muscle doing nothing. Or not muscle. It wasn't a muscle. It's like it went, my hip, like slipped and went out of joint. He said, you can pull muscles and your like joints can pull out, like go out with barely doing anything. But then years later, I went to a doctor. I was going to this doctor, and my aunt went to this doctor, and she said he's a really good doctor. So she wanted me to go. And then I went, and my cousin was going to him too. And then he diagnosed me with EDS. And he asked me, he said, when he was giving me some of the tests and stuff, he said, I bet you that you, and I hadn't told him this, it wasn't in my chart or anything. He said, you probably went to doctors and been tested for rheumatoid arthritis, and it's come back borderline each time. And I was like, how did you know that? Because I had been tested for rheumatoid arthritis a few times. Because when I was pregnant with my son, my second son, I kept having all this pain in my arm and stuff. And they told me, oh, it's probably rheumatoid arthritis. So they checked me, and it's borderline. And then they said, oh, well, we'll check you again after you have the baby. So after I had him, they checked me again, and it still said borderline. I said, well, it's just something we're going to have to keep an eye on. And then when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. And he said that I guess people with EDS get diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, or their doctors think they have rheumatoid arthritis. I was always, before I started going to him, I had doctors telling me, and my husband telling me that I couldn't possibly hurt as many places as I was saying I hurt. Because, for a younger person to be hurting, people don't believe you. Because, it wasn't just one place, and it's not just one place now that I hurt. It's like all over. One day it'll be my hip, my leg, my ankles, my back, my neck. It's just everywhere. And, before him, I had doctors not believing me. I had one doctor, I didn't go to him very long because, I started going to him, and then he finally believed me after he did some x-rays. But then he retired. He did some x-rays, and then he told me that my neck was worse than an 80-year-old's neck. Because he said his wife, my neck was older than hers. I was like, he goes, I guess you wasn't faking after all. Because he really did think I was faking. I guess he thought that I was just somebody wanting pain pills. And then I've had doctors tell me it's just because I'm too fat. If you'd lose weight, you wouldn't have all this pain. Well, I've lost 100 pounds. Probably a little bit more than 100 pounds. And I still have pain. Then I had somebody tell me one time, a doctor, it was somebody that stopped me when I was going into the dollar store. It happened right outside the dollar store. And, it's just somebody that wants to pray with you and stuff. So I was like, okay. But then she proceeds to tell me that if I wouldn't think about my pain, I wouldn't have pain. And she said, she prayed for me, and she goes, your pain won't be there in the morning. If you can wake up, you don't think about your pain, you won't have pain again. Because if you don't think about it, it don't hurt. And Jesus will take it away. Well, I got up the next morning. I didn't think about my pain, but my pain thought about me. I had pain. Come on. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't like it when doctors, think that and I understand a lot of people do just seek out pain pills. But, the ones that do that are making it hard for other people that actually need the stuff. I need to call and set up the appointment. I'm supposed to get an MRI of my knot, or mass as my doctor called it. I need to get an MRI on that and see what that is. Then I need to set up for some womanly checks that you have to do when you get older. It seems like this year just started, and then now it's over. Almost. A couple months left and it'll be 2025. It's like, dang, where did the time go? Where did this year go? We're supposed to be doing a thing with my brother, a balloon release or whatever they called it. But, they probably did it without me. They didn't call me, so they probably did it without me. They're supposed to do it after the rainy season. Rainy season's over. And I haven't gotten a call, so oh well. It's fine. I got a little box that I'm going to have my daughter paint, and then I'm going to get some pictures of my mom and my brother. I'm going to copy them off, and we're going to put it in the box. Probably my grandma and grandpa too, but the only ashes I have is my mom and my brother. And I'm going to put it in the box and then make like a little memory and in memoriam or whatever it's called of them. think of my aunts and uncles, of my grandma's kids, I only have 2 uncles. Yeah, I think only 2 uncles and my aunt. Dropped another drill on my kitty. I found it though. But yeah, I don't even know how long this has been going on. I've just been talking and talking. It's probably too long. People's probably gonna get bored. I try not to be boring. I try to find stuff to talk about. Most of the time when I turn the camera on, my mind just goes blank. It's like, what do I want to talk about again? Hopefully you guys haven't been too bored. And hopefully my new people that I have stick around. I was staying at $2.95 for a while. I'd go to $2.95 and then back down to $2.94. It's just up and down right there. Like somebody would, you know, subscribe and then, oh no, don't like her. Unsubscribe. Like up and down. And I watched Diamond Grandma's video last night where she opened the friend mail that I sent her. And I'm so glad everything made it and without getting broke. I was so worried that stuff was going to get broke. But it didn't. So. And I forgot when I sent that package off that I had something else over there I wanted to send. And I've had it for twice now when I've sent her Happy Mail. And both times I forgot to send it. And the coloring book I sent to you, Diamond Grandma, was actually from my daughter. Yeah, we bought some and there was like 3 books I think she had that all had the same pictures in it, but they were all different books. I don't know why they all had like the same pictures. But they did. So she picked out one and we sent it to Diamond Grandma. Yeah, I was worried that the stuff would get broke, and I said, because it seems like every time I go to Goodwill, I find stuff that I know she would like. So then I buy it and send it. Oh, and one of the little bottles, I don't know if Diamond Grandma will watch this, she might, is an old perfume bottle. The little girl bottle. There's one that's a bell, and then the other one is an old perfume bottle. And I think those are so neat when you find the old perfume bottles. Because I had one a long time ago. My brother found at a yard sale. And it was like a macaw, one of those blue macaws, blue and gold or whatever they are. And it was an old like bottle for like alcohol. And I thought it was so cool, and I had it for years and years. I never wanted to get rid of it. And then we moved, and yeah, some of my stuff got stolen. 2 boxes of my son's, my boys' Hot Wheel cars came up gone. 2 boxes. took me a while to realize they was gone because I thought they were in the storage building. But I couldn't find them when I straightened up the storage building. And then 2 or 3 bags of my oldest daughter's stuffed animal. Because she had so many stuffed animals. She had so many, like bags and bags of them. And 2 or 3 big bags were just disappeared. And I know who did it, but they never admitted to it. I knew they'd never admit to it. And then my bottle came up gone. And then there was some blankets that disappeared. It's just like so many things just disappeared. Like they can't stand when somebody else has something that they think they need. And some of those cars would probably be worth money now because, you know, a lot of the old Hot Wheel cars, especially like the red wheels or whatever, I see people getting. And my kids never rebuilt their big collection though. I had Hot Wheels and they were into them for a while, but then they got into like Pokemon and Magic cards and Digimon or whatever. So but goodness, drill's gonna stick to me. Anyway, I guess after I finish this last one, I will get off of here and see how long this video is. I got 2 of them done. Little Scarecrow girl and Scarecrow boy. I'm going to try to do these and seal them and hang them up in my tree. I got some other ones that I already sealed that's over there drying that I'm going to put on my tree. There's only 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12 of those. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you wasn't too bored. Oh, put my drill back in there. And come back and see me and see what we get into. I put in an order for Temu. It'll be a while before it's here, so I'll probably have to show some more of my stash. And maybe a Goodwill trip if I can, like, you know, go and not spend a bunch of money, because I have to save some money because it's, you know, getting close to Christmas. So yeah, it'd be kind of tight the next couple of months. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and stick around and come back again. And I will see you. Oh, and happy Halloween to everybody. Hope everybody's safe tonight and all the kitties get a lot of candy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. The ride of terror has come to an end. Run and hide if you wish, but you can never escape the claws of misfortune, for it has turned into a spooktacular masterpiece.